Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and hello to all our friends and family around our beloved planet. Welcome to Dr. Kathryn May's Blog Talk Radio Show channel panel, and today's program is our daily message with Kathryn that will be channeled live with Blog Talk Radio while we have our ongoing retreat in High Falls, New York. Today's message is coming from Kwan Yin. We are so excited to hear from her. What a special treat. Hello, Kathryn.
Unmuted.
Hi, Meg. We're juggling muting and unmuting and a couple of different technologies here. I hope that we are recording on startmeeting.com so that we can have a recording for people who want to call in on their phone. I'm having a little trouble getting on the internet, so we'll just hope that that's working. Okay. So I was told just a little while ago that Kwan Yin would like to come through. Don't have any idea what she'd like to talk about, and I've never channeled Kwan Yin before. So this will be an adventure. I want to tell people a little bit about what we did today. And I think she probably will want to talk about this too. But I'm here with the group. We're doing our retreat in High Falls. And it's even really hard to describe what happened today, but are not even sure where it started. But it was a conversation with Meg about Atlanta, and she was talking about how things are moving slowly in the South, and about it being probably a cultural thing. And I said, well, the crystal in Atlanta is right near Atlanta under the Stone Mountain. And she said, it is? And then I got a hit that, yes, we should go sit down and I'm to channel something about the Stone Mountain. So eventually all of us ended up in a circle, our working circle in the living room, and we made contact with the crystal, which is an enormous vein, I guess you would call it, a deposit of a natural occurrence of crystal under the area of Atlanta that connects through the ground all the way to the Magnus crystal, as they call it, the enormous one in Arkansas. And we were told that we are to activate the crystal. And what followed was a most amazing experience. I'm going to ask the people who were involved to just describe very briefly what they experienced and what they felt it was, if you can do that. Do you feel like you can describe it? All right. There were 3 different women who had a really intense response. and also one who was working on the grid around the planet at the same time. So we'll hear from them, from two of them at least, just to describe what you think might have been happening there as we were activating the crystal. Okay, Meg, do you want to tell us what you felt?
Hello, everyone. I forgot to introduce myself. This is Meg, your co-host, and I am from the greater Atlanta area, where I call in for the Blog Talk radio shows. And it was just a casual conversation with Kathryn about the area in the South where I've always lived. And she was talking about all the amazing things they're doing here in New York, and we were sharing. And I was just sort of curious about maybe why some areas of the world move into awareness a little bit slower, possibly have us waking up a little bit slower. So I was just curious and asked her the question, and she talked about there's a crystal under Stone Mountain, which I was completely unaware of, but very excited about. And of course, I've grown up going to Stone Mountain since I was a small girl in the recreation area there. And it's wrapped around some Civil War memorials and big recreational park for people. So as we came together to activate this beautiful crystal, I was overwhelmed with sadness, rage, a darkness, unable to breathe. And I found myself sort of curled up in a fetal position, just crying for what I was feeling. It wasn't even something in my head. It was just a bodily experience. And I had a cathartic release, which felt connected to Mother Earth and to all of humanity. And then it passed. It was a troubled breathing, taking deep breaths, staying connected, while they continued to channel love through the crystal. And then it slowly dissipated. I was able to breathe normally again. And then it sort of passed through the room to another beautiful light worker that also went through her own experiences of working with grids and also had her experience, which she's not here right now. But another special friend was having an experience with this as well. So I'll let Mary share what she experienced. This is Mary.
Hello, dear friends. We have so many friends that are helping out. They're all light workers. All of us are light workers when we raise our consciousness. And to me, the consciousness was high enough, the right time, right now. And as Meg was having her cathartic experience, I looked at Marlene and Marlene's eyes. It was like, let's go. Let's do this. And this was after we were all in this circle sending light right in the center. And it was like the light bolt hit, this light bolt of love, of light, hit the crystal. And what emerged from my own depths, it felt like not myself, of course, but something so very, very, very ancient that started to awaken. And she was not happy that she had been so oppressed for so many years that she began to awaken. And she began to cough, difficulty breathing, coughing all the stuff up that had been suppressing her, with anger, with rage. But it also transformed into something like labor pains. It was a laborious process. But something shifted. And Michael said that Archangel Michael had something for him to do, and I think I'll have to let him do that. But when that happened, when he did what he did, which he will explain, the tone changed, and it became an absolute glorious celebration where all participated in. And somehow there was drumming, hands drumming in the background, and everything was in rhythm. You know, it's back in harmony as it should be. And now it is flowing again. So this huge celebration was happening, and it's still happening. And I'm going to pass it on to Marlene.
Describe her speech.
My experience was to hold this major event so that it could happen, manifest. So the love and the power of all the light beings here in our group, we contributed to make the shift, to make it all happen. Connection to the source was with us constantly as we gave birth and allowed to free this beautiful crystal, which is aligned with the divine grid. And now, because of the alignment of the crystal to the grid, this will enable the whole planet, and it will enable all the universes to come as one, to help, to carry, and to nurture all new creation, which will unfold and is unfolding as we speak right now. I thank you.
So during the entire labor, the whole goings on of that, it was very clear to me that it was a very feminine energy, and I was ready just to hold the space. And as I became pretty much lulled in this holding of the space, Archangel Michael came to me and asked me to erect a golden tetrahedron and to go inside of there and to pull out from Mary's upper heart chakra this element and hand it to Archangel Michael, who was atop of the golden tetrahedron. And as it was explained to me, this was this element that kept us moving in this cycle of that we're in, going in more towards the darkness instead of towards the light. And so that this was removed, and so that the circle, we could move to a higher resonating circle.
Unmuted.
How about Christine? Do you want to describe what you felt?
Hello, everyone. This is Christine. I know many
Muted.
of you from Healing for Ascension Tour Group and our RV Grid project. So you know that I am a grid worker. And I just think you can already hear in our voices such reverence and excitement and kind of awe for what we've experienced. And what was happening is we were all working so easily together, in unison, as one. And each of us just easily fell into our part. And for myself, I went up on the grid immediately to the crystalline grid, and in my heart called all the grid workers, who I know so well. And who turned up but the grid master for every grid surrounding Earth. It was itself so exciting, and I was amazed to see. And as the grid masters turned up, we just knew. We had prepared. We were ready for this. So as the group was following Kathryn's easy directions and building the lightning bolt of love that was to release the crystal, the grid workers, the grid itself started to sparked all the way through us, all the way deep into Mother Earth, into the crystal heart, and out through the multiverse. And as the crystal was released, the lightning bolt of love, the grid itself in equal intensity all at once was lit up. Every single grid represented on Earth, every grid master, every grid worker in their higher self was present. So that was very amazing. And then as I like how Kathryn had described it, we all knew when the original wound where the crystal was shut down, when that was released, it was such a tremendous event, and we knew it was an actual release. And with Michael's piece, it wasn't, we weren't going into another cycle, but it was total release and freedom and entering the multiverse into the new. And we all knew it. So we experienced that on the grid as well, with extreme joy and reverence and celebration and doing our job. So from the grid, that's the report. I love you. Here's Meg.
Thank you, Christine.
Unmuted.
Thank you all. It was such a moving and just amazing experience. We didn't mention that when Mary went into her feelings that she was expressing of rage and of hurt and freeing all of those feelings of oppression, as it felt as though this is, as the crystal was being released, as it was being sparked, she was shouting out for the first time and Mary was doing what we would call speaking in tongues. And what came out was this ancient sounding language that was just sounds of the heart. And it was clear to us what she was saying and what she was expressing. And it went on for quite some time as we were just swept up in the feelings of wonder and passionate feeling and then relief and joy. And by the end of the session, we were all just completely spent, just completely exhausted, and felt this just overwhelming sense of relief and love for one another, for the earth, for this wondrous project that we were asked to do. It's very hard to describe what the emotion of all of us together in the same room created. It was just a wondrous thing. And so I think from what we each saw and felt, what we knew at the end of it was that the grid had been shut down. The crystal had been shut down because of the traumatic explosion and devastation during Atlantis, and that it was shut down for its own protection in order for it to be preserved until this time. So for thousands of years, this living crystal had been silenced. And now she speaks. She's been activated and will be the power, from what I saw, the power that will propel Mother Earth along her new track to to the center of the universe, to take her place as this bright star at the center of the universe. And it would be impossible to think that we're not now going to experience some incredible things. Because what it felt like was that Earth herself just switched direction and was launched on a new path. We will see in the coming days and months what this means to us in our lives, but the feeling here is that something profound has just happened. And I have to say, this morning I spoke to Father God. He pinched my toe and he said, "We have a surprise for you." And now they're all laughing. I told them I heard this morning. Well, apparently this was the little surprise that they had for us, this work that we were to do. So after we were done, the feeling was just finished. And enormous relief and love for one another. We couldn't hug each other enough. And just wonder and awe at the part each person played in this. And how astonishing it was that we happened to be here together, and as each one took their place and did the work that they just knew to do at that moment, it was just a wondrous thing. And not something that, we could not have done without having prepared for several days of just this feeling of trust and respect and wonder for each other and for the power that we experience in every light worker that's here. It's just been a remarkable thing. And so I'm glad we have this description of what happened on the recording for people to hear. I know there was some people had some trouble getting on last night. I hope people are able to access this. I know the recording is working, the archives. I hope this is going out to the world. There may have been a problem with the link, or who knows. But we did do the show, and it was recorded. So we will be doing. I'll be channeling Kwan Yin tonight for a few minutes, and then tomorrow night, Wednesday, we'll have our regular show at 8. And then, providing the RV hasn't happened by Wednesday night, we will continue every night at 5 until the RV. So come on, everybody, raise your vibrations, please. We're doing our work here. We need you behind us. So I gladly do this. It's wonderful to hear these beautiful masters come through, and their encouragement and their instruction for us is just priceless. So it'll be a great pleasure for me. I've never even spoken to Kwan Yin before, but Mother God suggested that she should be the next one to come and talk with us. So let's see what happens. Okay, why don't you, transition for a minute for me, and I'll be right back.
Muted.
Okay, so we'll just give Kathryn the time to take a deep breath. It's a very emotional experience for all of us in full facet of emotions. We had tears of joy and tears of sadness, and we had laughters of relief and laughters of joy. And it's very difficult to talk about such an amazing subject without feeling the full breadth and depth of it. So as Kathryn takes a few breaths of centering and connects with our beloved Kwan Yin, and I believe she's probably here.
Unmuted.
Welcome, Kwan Yin, to our family.
Greetings, beloved ones. Yes, indeed, it's Kwan Yin. I am honored and delighted to be invited to talk with you today. What a remarkable group this is. What an amazing event they accomplished this afternoon. I'm telling you now, beloved ones, all the company of heaven was observing. All the angels and the masters observed as you just instinctively did what you came here in this life to do. For all of you, this will be a kind of culmination of your training, of your experience, the reason you have practiced these and fine-tuned these wonderful skills. All of you who have already lived a distance in your lives have lived for this, have grown, have prepared yourselves, have learned what you needed to learn, have become so connected psychically that you've grown tremendously in recent years, as everyone listening to this has done. These are the masters who have perfected the skill and simply know when it's time to drop in to their higher selves and perform the duties that are here for them. And each person in this room did exactly that. The rhythm, the emotion, the passion behind it was like a beautiful tapestry unrolling as we saw each of you stepping forward at exactly the right moment to play the part for which you were born. And I will tell you now, beloved ones, there will be even more of this wonderful work that you do so generously, so without thought, without question, without hesitation. When the bell rings inside your heart, you simply step forward and do your part. You are greatly loved for this, greatly admired. For we know how hard it is to live a lifetime there on earth and drop all pretenses, all ego, all personal connection, and simply step forward and perform the spiritual act, the dedication, the benediction, the honoring, and above all, using your own energy, your own passionate hearts to create something astonishingly beautiful. You not only helped Mother Earth, you helped the entire universe by doing this work. It was time. The great sundial, you might call it, of the timeline that you are on is in synchrony with the great timeline of the entire universe and the multiverse. And now you are synchronized because of this work and connected through the energy of the crystals and the grid. You are completely connected with the other planets, the stars, the dimensions beyond. Cosmic elements that you cannot have even imagined are now connected with planet Earth. The Galactic Federation rejoices, are dancing on the ships. Earth has passed a graduating point that will make it possible for her to be a planet of light, to be a member of the Galactic Federation, as she has wanted to do so long. It was a culmination, this work, a culmination of the work that has been done by so many beloved light workers all around the globe who began this work generations ago, and the indigenous tribes who, of course, have held the light and have continued to understand and know the things that are now coming into fruition. It was possible because of the cumulative energy that has been produced on the planet. You reached a tipping point that made it possible for this activation to occur. It could not have been done yesterday. It could not have been done last year. This is the spark that was needed for Earth to proceed. Of course, there will be other sparks, related, connected, as the dominoes begin to fall. It is the most exciting time. The events for which we have waited for thousands of years. The feelings of relief and thanksgiving are just overwhelming for all of us here in the higher dimensions. Thank you. Appreciate you. Honor you. All of you, light workers who have done your part. You know, when you're a light worker, it's easy to fall into the idea that, oh, you're not very important because you're just a mother, or you're not so important because you're just a teacher, or you just work in an office, or you tally up the groceries in the grocery store. Well, beloved ones, look how many precious souls you touch every day. Every word you speak matters. Every heart you touch is changed. Every child you smile at blossoms a bit more. All of you, every single one of you, has played a part in this. What happened today in this room was like the culmination of this work that you have all done together. So many hands went into this. So many lives dedicated to this uphill climb that we have done together. So many. I hope you are all, everyone, I hope everyone in the world will listen. Everyone will know and celebrate with us. For it is a time of glorious celebration. We have looked forward to this for eons. And now those people you are meeting, when you encounter someone and think, seems like I've seen you before. Do I know you? It is that this is someone that you have done this work with before. It may have been another lifetime, it may have been in your higher selves. But you know when you encounter someone who has been on the same path with you for lifetime after lifetime, you are going to meet more and more of those people. They will come forward and spring up in your life like mushrooms after a rain. They will present themselves. Be aware. Keep your eyes open. Look for them. Greet them with love and friendship. Honor them and send them love. You all are going to be feeling the new energy of the golden age of planet Earth. Do not resist it. Do not play the part of a naysayer by saying, oh, I don't notice anything. Well, you would have to be really working hard to not feel what's happening now. I promise you, you will feel it. Those who are sensitive, who are light workers, are going to feel a sense of tremendous relief, tremendous joy. You may even feel tired for a little while because of the powerful emotional work that has just been done. And you will be hearing from around the world about events that have taken place. Remember this day, beloved ones. Remember it well, for it is a turning point. It is a joyful celebration and turning point for Mother Terra and for all of humankind. We wish to send you all our blessings, our love, our trust, and our faith in you. We want you to know how we admire you, how we see your work. Nothing goes unnoticed. Every time you stop, look inward and ask yourself, is this my highest self? Am I doing the very best I can do at this moment and every moment? Am I being true to my loving self, to the innermost self, which is the soul that I am? Am I fully engaged with my higher self so that I feel my own divinity? And when you do, beloved ones, there will be no self left to think about. There is only love and great emotion. But now that great emotion will be pleasure, laughter, fun, exuberance, freedom, and great love. You will feel tickled every day, all day long. You will feel joy deep in your heart for everyone you meet, for everything you do. It is a new day. And I, Kwan Yin, am delighted to be able to greet you on this beautiful day. I send you my endless love. Namaste, all. Farewell.
Thank you, Kwan Yin. That was a beautiful message.
Muted.
Hi, Kathryn.
Unmuted.
Okay, I'm back. Been quite an emotional day. That was lovely. Thank you, Kwan Yin. It felt as though she must have been here with us all day. She has a beautiful light. I'm feeling this sense of sisterhood and companionship that she's sending us. Thank you, Kwan Yin, for your wonderful work. And she said, you're welcome. Yes, they take great pleasure in being here for us, being our guides, being the ones who helped us to create all this. One day we'll understand it all. One day we'll be treated to the great hologram, where we'll see our history and how our work together intertwined with one another, unbeknownst to us. They're trying to tell us, they're trying to explain to us the effect of that we're having. And it feels good to hear that. It's good to know that what we're doing really matters. So we thank them for that. And I think we'll leave it with those wonderful words and wish all of you a beautiful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are on the globe. Put your feet on the earth and feel what we've been feeling. It's a remarkable thing. We're going to be dancing in the streets. So, until tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we will talk with you then, and we will also have a question and answer time then. I don't yet know what surprise we'll be having and who's coming to see us then, but it certainly has been interesting. Every time, every day, a new master to speak with us. We feel very honored by that. So, I will say so long, and thank you, Meg. Thank you, everyone, the group that's here. Thank you all. All right. Bye-bye.
Muted.
time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is